We're going to have a look at a couple of IXL word problems involving the Pythagorean theorem and some of the common issues that'll pop up with them. So notice this one here, it's talking about an envelope that's 12 centimeters wide and measures 15 centimeters along the diagonal, and it's asking you how tall is the envelope. And really the one thing you really are trying to figure out when you look at the problem here is it asking me for a hypotenuse? Is it asking me for a leg? So let's start with a little diagram here. I'm drawing an envelope. That's my sophisticated diagram right there. And it tells me that it's 12 centimeters wide. So I'm going to put 12 centimeters in my diagram right away. And I'm going to put it as the width of the diagram. It's actually the longest side here, so it's the length. But they're talking about width in terms of left to right, which sometimes happens. And it tells us it measures 15 centimeters along the diagonal. So let's draw a little diagonal in here and label that as a 15. Now the important question is, when I'm writing out my formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, is the which numbers are showing up as a and b and which number is showing up as c, because the most common problem with something like this is not putting them in the right spot. So I notice here the 15 is on the hypotenuse, which means you got to put it in for the letter C. So right away I'm going to put that in there. And my equation is going to look like this. I'm already going to write in 15 as my C. So 15 squared shows up on the right. And the 12 here is one of the legs. So I put him here. And the missing thing, which here they're calling the height or the tall of the envelope. So let's call that the height. That's showing up here as one of the legs. So that's your a squared or your b squared is the height. Now that I've got everything in the right place, this is going to be pretty easy to do. 15 squared is 225. 12 squared is 144. So h squared plus 144 equals 225. I subtract 144 from both sides to get my h squared all alone. And if I know that h squared is 81, I just square root 81 to find out that h is 9. So how tall is the envelope? The answer I can tell is 9 centimeters. Lorenzo likes to skate at a skate park that is due south of his school and due west of his favorite ice cream parlor. If the skate park is 12 kilometers from his school and the straight line distance between the school and the ice cream parlor is 20 kilometers, how far is the skate park from the ice cream parlor? All right, this is one where a diagram is really going to help me to keep track of Lorenzo's different locations. And again, what you want to watch out for is making sure you know whether the question is asking you for a leg or a hypotenuse. So let's figure it out. We've got Lorenzo likes to go skate at the skate park. So we have one point here. That's the skate park. And the skate park is due south of his school. So south, let me move the skate park south of something. The school, Lorenzo's school, is up here. So that's the school. And we know that it's south of the school and it says west of the favorite ice cream parlor. Now, if you have trouble parsing that sentence, remember, you can read it from the start. Lorenzo likes to skate at a skate park that is due west of the ice cream parlor. So that means the ice cream parlor is east of the skate park. Ice cream parlor, right? This reminds me of Insane Clown Posse, which is a dumb band that nobody likes. All right, so we got the school, this skate park, and the ice cream parlor. Putting this guy over here on the right is where a lot of people would struggle because they read west and they think, oh, I've got to put it up here because that's west of the school. That's not what it says. And it says the skate park is west of the ice cream parlor. So read this closely and carefully to understand where to put it. Now that we've got these things in the right place, the rest of this problem isn't too difficult, right? The rest is just putting in some numbers, making sure we put the numbers in the right place. So it tells us if the skate park is 12 kilometers from his school, notice again, it doesn't tell us 12 kilometers south. We had to pick that up from the previous sentence. 12 kilometers south of the school. And the straight line distance between the school and the ice cream parlor, it doesn't tell us that that's northwest or southeast. It just tells us the distance between the school and the ice cream parlor is 20 kilometers. Then how far is the skate park from the ice cream parlor? Now, setting it up like this, we realize we're being asked to find a missing leg. So that is really the most important piece of information to take from our diagram here. It makes the rest of it easy, right? I got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I know right away I want to put the c in the right place. So the c is the hypotenuse, that's the diagonal, that's the longest side of the triangle. It's the one that doesn't touch the 90-degree angle. And I've got 12 is my a. My missing side here, this is meant to be a question mark. I'm just going to leave it as b for now. And now I just got to do some calculations. So 144 plus b squared equals 400. That's just me squaring these numbers. I take away the 144 and I get that b squared equals 256. I square root, and b is 16. That's my answer, just like that. I'm going to type it in and feel the rush of getting a question correct on IXL. Hooray!